Hello guys and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be heading to Bahrain for the first episode of my F1 MyTeam career mode. And if you didn't watch the last video, I do recommend it because it has all the information that you need going into this race. Here you can see we have an upgrade in progress in a chassis upgrade. It's a minor, so it will help us a little bit. Here you can see the vehicle performance comparison with third bottom fighting Haas and Aston Martin. I'm not sure if we're able to get any points, but we can try our best. If we go to corporate here, the other contracts, I'm actually going to buy another driver perk, and this time in a social, which essentially just upgrades the answers you can use when you get those interviews. But now we are all set for qualifying. Just before we go to qualifying, I did the quick practice and we've got a bit of R&D to spend to go for a few upgrades. So I'm kind of deciding between a aero and a chassis. I'm not quite sure what we're going to go for, just checking out the aero ones here. They're all, most of them 1,000 to 600 R&D. Checking out a minor, I think, chassis upgrade there was. So we're actually going to go for the chassis upgrade, a rate, I can't tell if that is redistribution or reduction, one of them. And then we're going to go for a minor rear downforce, should come in just after Australia. Here you can see my second flying lap. I didn't bother to show you the first one because it was just not very good at all. As you can see, I'm P22, so there wasn't much point. Into turn one, I think I actually gained at least 2 tenths after the first 2 corners here. Behind Ricardo though, I'm hoping he doesn't hold us up too much, but you can see after the first 2 corners we're actually up by almost 3 tenths there. You can see going into the last corner up by 7-8 tenths now, showing you how bad my first lap was. P21 somehow, I don't know how he's gone up there, as we cross the line here in qualifying, and we are not in the top 14, which doesn't give me good hope. As we go down and we are P17. We're 2 tenths off Sebastian Vettel, who is actually in P16. I mean, I did expect it. I think that's a good lap from me. I didn't really expect to get into Q2, but P7 and 19 for the team, I think that's decent. Let's go to the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. Formula 1 returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, George Russell and Hamilton, Norris, Bottas, Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher and Tsunoda, Gasly, Vettel, the owner driver and Guan Yu Zhou, Drugovich, Albon, Latifi and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And now it's time to head down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Here you can see our race strategy then, 28.8 laps of fuel, so just a bit of under fueling, and I think that'll get us to the end of the race hopefully, and a simple medium to hard. So on the formation lap here, starting P17, just behind the 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel and the rookie Guan Yu Zhou, and just behind him is another rookie in Felipe Drugovich, so he's done quite well to be that close to us in qualifying. I'm not quite sure what the gap was, but you know, pretty decent from him to be this high up, and we need to warm these tyres up for the race start. You can see then us parking our car. You see Gasly just ahead of us there, and we're going to try and aim our car towards Sebastian Vettel, see if we can jump him off the start, and hopefully we can get a good parking spot. What is it going to be? It's going to be 0.4. That's actually pretty good for a starting position there, and obviously Vettel in front of us, hoping we can jump in into the start. Here you can see now us going to 5 red lights here in Bahrain for the season opener in season 1 of MyTeam career mode, and it's lights out and away we go. we'll get a semi-decent start trying to get into the slipstream of Sebastian Vettel, see if we can make the move. We actually get a pretty decent slipstream, trying to pull out down the inside. If we can make a massive send, and we do, we control. Snowden looks up right in front of us, and we go right around the inside of him, almost making contact there with Kevin Magnussen. Snowden and Schumacher get us back, as we've now got, I believe, Pierre Gasly trying to go and overtake us. We try and get in the slipstream with Mick Schumacher here. ERS is open, and we close it again. Don't want to use our battery just yet. We send it down the inside. Oh, we're almost a little bit of contact there with Yuki Tsunoda. Mick Schumacher on our outside here, going down the hill. We can go side by side, and we're going to win out on this battle. Pretty good opening that. We've gone from, I believe, P17 up to P14 to gain 14 positions as we almost go there into the back of Yuki Tsunoda. I think there's a little bit of contact there between me and Gasly. Gasly hitting us on the inside there. That's kind of put us a little bit far behind Yuki Tsunoda, but in that braking we gain all our time back. He can see this nice camera shot here, us in P14 on the ladder there to the left. We're actually staying around 6 to 8 tenths behind Yuki Tsunoda, and around, well actually there 1 second ahead of Gasly, but I'm sure he'll catch back up there. Obviously DRS enabled after lap 2 or 3, so there is DRS enabled, so as you can see here I think we do open DRS. Can't quite see from here, you can see us, oh yeah you can, so us open DRS there. I think you could push on for him here. We could get a top 10, I'm not quite sure. He gets the 2 Red Bulls here then. Sergio Perez trying to make a move on Max Verstappen, and he does, up into P3. Normally it'd be the other way around in Max Verstappen making a move on Perez, but Max is going to try and stick it around the outside now to the inside. He tries to go down the inside, but not enough room. Perez now up to P3. You can see the gap that the Ferraris have got on the Red Bulls now, and the Mercedes are right on their tail. You can see Max trying to go around the outside there. Can the Mercedes maybe get through? I think there's Russell and P5 there trying to attack Max Verstappen. You can see then George Russell into the last corner. It's up into P5 now. He's sent it on the inside. A bit of contact made, you saw there. Now Lewis Hamilton's going to try and make the move and make it 3 wide. Can we have another 3 Lewis Hamilton moment here in Bahrain? Lewis now up to P4, Max to P5, and George Russell to P6. Lewis Hamilton now side by side with his old rival Max Verstappen into turn 1. Mercedes has now passed. Now back to RP over here. You can see us getting a pretty poor exit there. A yellow flag behind. I think one of the AIs has been caught up on the curb there. Pierre Gasly tries to go around the outside, but we have the inside line, so we're going to keep our P14. He can see then down into turn 10 on lap 7, just ahead of Pierre Gasly, but not much longer. If he tries to attack us from the outside, and he does, and I completely missed my braking zone. And there's a bit of contact made between me and Pierre Gasly. Now Pierre Gasly going side by side with Mick Schumacher down the straight. He can see a great fight between Guan Yu Zhou and Felipe Drugovich. I'm not sure quite who's attacking. I think it's Guan Yu Zhou attacking my teammate here, obviously in our F1 career mode. So going side by side through to turn 4. Great racing, because obviously these two are rookies. Obviously Drugovich re-signed, and Guan Yu Zhou signing for Alfa Romeo at the start of the 2022 season, and going side by side down the hill and side by side here. This is great racing from these two, this pair of drivers. Now into turn 10, Guan Yu Zhou down the inside. What's going to happen here? And Felipe Drugovich just spun round on the curb. He gets pushed wide and is down to P21 and will soon to be P22 as he has to wait for Albon to go past. This is an absolute disaster for our new F1 teammate here. This has not gone the way he had hoped. And here you can see Guan Yu Zhou's point of view. He didn't push him wide really. He's turning in. Here's Drugovich. He tried turning. There's not really much room here, so that's just frustrating for his first race in F1. Back to RPOV on lap 8 now. Schumacher coming towards us, and I must say this was very scary seeing that Haas come straight at us. He's going to send one down the inside. Yes, he is. How did I know that? He's going to send one down the inside. Actually get us for a bit there. A bit of wheel spin there from us, but he just gets caught up on the curb. I think he was a bit scared for us going around him there. So now he's going side. He's going to go and fight with Gasly as well. Now on lap 10 here of 29, we're going to get caught again by Mick Schumacher side by side into turn 1. We have the inside line from this off-board shot. Still in P14 here. Gasly down to P17 when he was fighting with Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, so he's had a poor few laps there. As Schumacher again tries to attack us, but again we have the inside line into turn 4, so we stay ahead of Mick Schumacher going down the hill. There's a little look, but he cannot quite get us just yet. He can see then on lap 11 now, and you can see yellow flags ahead. I'm not quite sure. It looks like an Alpine going slow. Could that be Esteban Ocon or Fernando Alonso? I'm not quite sure who that was, but someone's DNFing on this straight. There must be an engine failure, and it is not looking good for the Alpine boys after an engine failure in Bahrain. And Fernando Alonso is out of the race. It is Alonso. You can see just ahead. Oh, that's a shame for Alpine. DNF in the first race is never good. Pass him now. You can see here just a replay. He was in the points as well. Oh, that is really annoying for Fernando Alonso. As you can see him parking up here on the side. Not how I wanted his first race in Bahrain to go. Here you can see now lap 12 on 2:13. Our pit window is now open. A few already in the box this lap. I believe that's Bottas and Magnussen there. And we're going to be going on to the hard combo of the tyres. Just do a medium to hard and then do a nice long hard stint to the end of the race. And now a yellow flag behind there. I'm not sure what's happened there. Looks to be going alright. Don't think any cars have stopped. And Vettel's out of the race and the safety car is out. I don't know if anyone had crashed, but I mean that confirms it. Vettel is out of the race, and we're going to use this opportunity to pit. We're going to go on to the hard compound tyres, obviously. Hopefully for a good pit stop. What's it going to be? 2.3. That is actually really good from the crew. Coming up seconds clear of everyone else. We are P13, so a few ahead I don't think have pitted. So that's why we are P13. So now we've just got to catch up to the safety car. This is why the safety car was called out. Vettel trying to make a move on Mick Schumacher here. Trying to go around the outside, so I believe he doesn't make the move yet. Does he? No, he doesn't. So he's going to be side by side with Magnussen down the straight. I believe, yes, Vettel has DRS. I'm not quite sure how he crashed thing. Unless there's no one to go through. Well, oh yes, there is. Guan Yu Zhou, I think there's coming at the pits. It's on the inside. Okay, that makes sense now. Vettel was going side by side with Magnussen or Schumacher, and then Zhou came out the pits. You can see there, and then it was 3 wide. That wasn't going to end well, and then Vettel's just gone in. And kind of strange actually. He didn't actually try to turn out the way. He kind of just carried on turning left. I'm not quite sure what happened there, as this is Schumacher's point of view. So he's real certain, then thought, okay, I'll go to the inside, and then he kind of just hops the curb, and that wasn't going to end well. He's exiting the pit. Sorry, he's got loads of room. Then Schumacher's on his inside, then Vettel's on his outside. I don't know whose fault that would be. That's quite evenly matched there, and you can see here all the leaders coming into the pits now. And Carlos Sainz, Leclerc, they're going to double stack here at Ferrari. Is this a good idea? Probably, so they can both fit under safety car. But I believe some of the Rebels will be pitting as well. I don't know if Sergio Perez is pitting or not. But Perez is now ahead of Leclerc, I believe, because Leclerc had to do a double stack. Mercedes has to wait for Max to go past. The pecking order has changed a little bit in the pit stops there. Carlos Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Max, then Russell. Now here you can see a safety car is in this lap. We're still P13. I believe a few cars ahead of us are still on the medium tyres. So we get to go racing again here in Bahrain, and lap 15 of 29. 5 tenths behind Kevin Magnussen, using all our ERS to try and catch up. But look at this straight line spin they have. There was nothing I could do here. I was just stuck. I mean, and then into turn 1, I've got no clue what has just happened. But we are somehow up into P9. What's just happened here? Lando's braking, and is that? I think that's Ocon there. Just sends a massive send into turn 1 there. Somehow avoids damage, goes a little bit there, and somehow we're now up into P9. I think everyone was just kind of slow into turn 1. And now Bottas trying to chase after us here into the last corner. Lap 17 of 29. Only like 12 more laps to go, and hopefully we can secure points in our first ever race in F1. We've already lost DRS to Lando Norris. You can see DRS is now enabled. So I wasn't actually in DRS, but now DRS is enabled. What can we do? Lap 19 out of 29 here. A few laps later, 10 laps left. Tsunoda is now ahead of Bottas. Now Tsunoda is in DRS, gaining on us, gaining and gaining. Tries to go down the inside, doesn't quite make it there. Oh, and he's a little tap there, but don't think there's any damage or either of us there. We'll have to see to the end of the lap. You can see now into turn 10. Tsunoda is really desperate for this move, but we're going to defend that down the inside. Hopefully we can get the position we do, but he's got DRS, so I don't know how this is going to work. And as I expected, using all my ERS there, Yuki Tsunoda still manages to get past us, but we're going to go down the inside. Are we going to keep this? Yes, we are. A little bit of contact made there between me and Tsunoda, but I'm desperate to keep these P9 here and get 2 points. He's in lap 19 of 29, 10 laps to go here in Bahrain P9. But I believe Yuki Tsunoda and Valtteri Bottas are both coming towards us. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. We're right in the centre. I'm going to stick this through. And we just about make it through cleanly. A bit of contact made there. But now Yuki Tsunoda, I believe, are side by side. But we made it up that alive. Now still in P9. You can see the lap 20 now, 9 laps left. Yuki Tsunoda getting a much better exit than us. And he's going to go on the inside. We're going to pull to the right hand side and get a very, very nice switchback on Yuki Tsunoda to keep our P9 and our 2 points. You can see now on lap 20 to 21, I believe there was a Haas in the pit lane, not sure up there, but Yuki Tsunoda is flying towards us here into turn 1. We have the inside line. We're going to squeeze him on the entry, and we have the inside line, so we do keep P9 here. But I do believe that Yuki Tsunoda does want to pass us, and he will have DRS. You can see there, he's only 2 tenths behind us. We're not going to use any ERS. We're going to save it here. He's going to blast past us. We're going to go right round the outside here, trying to defend our position here. He might be able to get us on the exit. We're going to go side by side down the hill. I don't know if he'll be able to get us just yet. No, we're going side by side, but we have the edge over Yuki Tsunoda. And this is the same map, but different corner, and Yuki Tsunoda is down the inside. A bit of contact made there between me and Yuki. Just getting really aggressive out here. We're both fighting, and we both really want this P9 position. Here then you can see lap 24 of 29, Yuki Tsunoda still behind us. Not even Yuki Tsunoda, sorry, Valtteri Bottas now. As we go and get a very nice switch back, as we did like on Yuki Tsunoda, but this time on Valtteri Bottas. Very nice switch back there. Now you can see lap 24 to 25, Bottas is just going to fly past us. I'm using all my ERS, and I'm really hoping here that we can get in this slipstream. We're going to pick very late, and we're going to absolutely send it down the inside. I do not want to lose these points here in Bahrain. 2 points will be very nice in our first F1 outing here in Bahrain, but Bottas hasn't got the DRS we have. I just forgot to open it. I opened it very late, but we're on the outside here. Bottas on the inside. We have the outside line. We're getting enough speed. We're going to be side by side going down the hill here. Who's going to win out here? And we're a little bit of contact between me and Bottas there, but we stay ahead of Bottas. Now on lap 26 or 29, we have someone else to fight us here in Daniel Ricciardo. Bottas just isn't even there anymore. It's now Ricciardo and Albon behind us. A little contact made there between Ricciardo and me. We're going to go side by side down the hill. We each have a bit more speed around the outside there. You might even have a bit more contact there between me and Ricciardo. Lap 29 there, caution behind. I'm not quite sure what has happened there, but we're going to be side by side with Ricciardo, and Albon makes it 3 wide. So we go into turn 4. Albon hops the curb. We've got a bit of damage now. We've got a yellow front wing there. Albon hopped the curb, and now we have damage to contend with. But Carlos Sainz wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, who assume ahead of Sergio Perez. I'm not quite sure what the podium position was there. As Albon now tries to go down the inside. Obviously we've got that damaged front wing. Bit of understeer there, but we stay ahead of Albon. Albon actually in the Williams is actually in the points. So he's done a great job from wherever he started to be in the points in that Williams. Now coming down to the last corner, Albon on our outside. Ricciardo might even make this 3 wide into the last corner of the race, and he does with 3 wide. Not quite exactly, but we are 3 wide there into the last corner, but we do keep our P9. We're going to get points in our very first race in Formula 1.
Fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So Carlos Sainz wins the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Sergio Perez. I was right, it was Perez in P2 and Charles Leclerc in P3. Mercedes are getting P4 and 5 total points for them. Max Verstappen down in P6. That's not a very good showing from Max Verstappen there. Lando Norris doing well in the McLaren, obviously behind Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, so you can't expect much more from Norris there. But you know, the best part of this race has got to be us getting points in our first ever F1 race, all the way from P17, getting knocked out in Q1, all the way up to the points. We've got to feel happy. That's a good result. Felipe Drugovich, our F2 teammate, in his first race in F1 as well, going from P19 to P13. So he's had a really good race there as well. You can see there, 3 seconds ahead of Gasly. So I mean, he might have even been within a second of, I believe, Guan Yu Zhou there. So good showing from our team. That's a good confidence boost going into Australia. And obviously you can see the constructors, we're P6 for those 2 points that I got, and obviously just behind us Williams, which was actually Albon. So P6, that's good. I didn't quite expect to be there after the first race of the season. Bahrain is now done, and points in our first F1 race on this save, so make sure you don't miss out next time round in Australia. And yeah, this is Game with Joel out.